So I decided to participate in the first year teacher tag that was created by Teach Like a Girl, Christina Costa, and I was so excited and so happy that I did, because writing down these questions and reflecting back on them got me really excited for my 10th year of teaching. So let's go back into time 10 years to the magical year of 2008, my first year of teaching. So the very first question, I switched the question order because the first one was, what was the worst thing about your first year of teaching? And I thought, oh my gosh, if teachers are watching this and it's their very first year of teaching, they don't want to hear the worst, they want to hear the best first before the worst. So the first question was, what was the best moment of the first year of teaching? And for me, the best moment was towards March or April, we get our class photo. And getting that class photo for me, I think, was my proudest and best moment of that first year. Because I remember looking at it and thinking, oh my goodness, these are my students. This was the first year that I taught them. I can display this photo and they can display it and I'm their teacher next to them. That was kind of a nostalgic piece of me going to school, was always having that class photo and thinking, wow, you know, this is my teacher, it's great. And for me, that was a proud moment because I know they're always going to hold on to that photo and they're always going to see it, and now 10 years later I'm sure they can pull it back out and have great memories and amazing things to say about that 4th grade year. I know I keep all my class photos in the back of my classroom and I display them for my students to see, and I do that as a teacher. I look at all those classes and especially that first class and I think how much I grew, how much they grew, the great times that we shared together, the laughs, and the positive impact that I know they made on me as a teacher being in my first year, and the positive impact I hope I made on them. The second question was, what was the worst part of your first year teaching? And for me, the worst part was, I think, 3 weeks in, whenever we have our first holiday, which is like Memorial Day weekend, I remember waking up. It was Thursday night, I was asleep. I remember waking up and itching, like my legs itched really, really bad, and I didn't know what it was. I woke up Friday morning and I found out I had hives. Hives were all over my legs and slowly starting on my arms and on like my back and my side. And being a first year teacher, you never want to miss school. You always want to be there. I didn't want to miss not being with my class. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go to school anyway. And I remember kind of mid-morning when we had our first conference period, I think my principal slowly started to figure out, or she was told that I had hives, and she was like, Vanessa, you need to go home. And I was like, no, but I can't miss. I'm here with my class. I have to stick it out. No, you know, I brought Benadryl with me. I'm good. And she was like, no, like you really need to go take care of yourself because it just doesn't look good. And so I don't remember if I finished that first day or not, but I remember when I went home that night, like it got really, really bad. We had a trip planned to the coast and I still went to the coast, which I shouldn't have done. And it took a while for me to heal from those hives. And you know, I went to the doctor and the doctor's like, I have no idea why you have hives. He's like, maybe you're just stressed. It's your first year and you just got overly stressed. And that's how they came about. But it was a good lesson to me because first I was so appreciative that my team and my principal was really caring, and they knew I was still dedicated to my class, but they also knew, like, you know, your health is a little bit more important. So that was a good lesson for me to, you know, if you're sick, if you get really, really sick, if you have hives, for goodness sake, you need to stay at home because, you know, your class is not a class, or your class can't learn to the best of their abilities if you're not 100%. And sometimes it's best just to stay at home and just to go home and say, you know, hey, what class? I'll come back tomorrow 100%, but right now I'm not, because, you know, everyone's human. Question number 3 was the biggest regret from your first year of teaching. And hands down, the biggest regret I think I had was staying at school way too late. I had this idea in my mind, if I stayed until 6, if I was super on top of everything, if I made games, if I had my bulletin boards perfect, like I was going to be a great teacher. And I wish that, now looking back on it 10 years later, I wish I would have told my first year teacher self, like, you need to go home and get some rest, because you need to be at 100% and your body needs rest, and there's really no need while you're here until 6. And I remember telling my mentor teacher, like, oh, I'm cleaning my classroom, and she's like, there shouldn't be a lot of mess left from the end of the day. And that's a really hard thing to do. You want to stay late, you want to clean up things, you want to make sure everything looks great, and you eventually find a good balance of staying after school until you know you're like, okay, I can't stay any longer, I've got to go home. But that was a big regret, and several people told me about my first year of teaching, and I wish I would have done a better job of attempting to leave at a normal time. And that's what I do now. I say, okay, I'm gonna leave at 4:30. If there's something that I absolutely need to get done, I'm gonna leave at 5. And 5 is my latest point, because 5 I know I can get home, start making dinner, do things like that. So that was a hard lesson to learn. So set a time for yourself that you absolutely need to go home, have an accountability buddy, have someone to make sure that you're absolutely out the door, and it's okay, things can get done tomorrow. There's always another day. The fourth question is what you wish that you knew. And for me, I wish I knew that it was okay to ask questions. It's okay if you don't know everything. And being the kind of perfectionist that I am, I want to go into situations, knowing everything or pretending I know everything, and I don't think I asked enough questions. I kind of figured things out for myself. And being a newbie teacher, you want to ask as many questions as you can. And if you're unsure or feel like, oh, if I speak up and if I ask questions, it doesn't make me look as experienced or doesn't make me look as qualified as everyone else, find a really good buddy, whether it be on campus or a good mentor teacher, and ask them the questions. I had a fabulous mentor teacher in my school that I was. She was actually a bridesmaid at my weddings. Like, she was great. She asked me, asked if I need anything. I asked her questions. It was a great relationship. And find someone like that, because it's okay to ask questions. It's okay not to know everything. It's your first year. You have plenty of time to be a master teacher. Advice for future teachers is the very last question. And when I wrote out this question and was writing my responses, I quoted Miss Frizzle, and I didn't even mean to quote Miss Frizzle. So my advice for first year teachers is get messy, make mistakes, and take chances. It's always important to be yourself. If you're the type of teacher that likes to do hands-on things and maybe your team's not quite there yet, don't let that stop you. You be the teacher that does hands-on things. You be the teacher that dresses up. Have your kids get messy. My first year, I carved pumpkins with my students and did a multiplication activity based on the seeds. I wasn't afraid to get messy, and your students will see that. They'll see that you like to take those chances, and then it's okay to make mistakes, and they themselves will take chances and feel okay about, oh my goodness, I made a mistake, that's okay, I'm gonna get back up and I'm gonna learn. It's okay not to know every single thing. Just really, honestly, be true to yourself. Another advice that I have for first year teachers is to build relationships with your students starting from day one. You will see that those relationships will help shape and mold your classroom, help shape and mold your students, and it means a lot to them. So don't wait until I'm gonna wait for the first week to be over. Start those from Meet the Teacher. I know I do. I try to make each one of my students smile at Meet the Teacher and make them feel like, wow, this is a great place they're going to. And it eases your feelings and their feelings the first day, because you've already started that little spark of that little relationship with them. So if you really enjoyed my teacher tag, I urge you, if you are a Instagram follower, post your teacher tag on your Instagram story or your Instagram page. If you are a fellow teacher YouTuber, I urge you to answer these questions. It was fun reflecting upon them. Always don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give my video a thumbs up. And I